So don't say anything. Now we are, though.
Now we're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Carrie, Adam, and Storm. Coming off of a little bit of a leadership call this morning. Adam, you know, I'm impressed because every single morning I have multiple invites from you, one at 7:30, one at 8:30. 7:30, we have a leadership huddle, huddle is the word. And at 8:30, we jump on this call. And the last couple of days, I have been jumping on your 7:30 leadership huddle. A nice little way to kick off the day, get into that morning routine. We watch some videos, we hear from some speakers, and then we open forum, discuss leadership. Talk to me what got you into the mindset that this is something you wanted to bring not only to your organization, but to the people you work with.
Yeah, I mean, I think the old quote, I think it was John Maxwell, but it's so true. It's everything rises and falls on leadership.
All right.
Everything. You know, I truly believe that. And we get so engraved in the process and operations piece, which is so important. But honestly, it's irrelevant if leadership isn't there. It won't get executed. So, you know, just developing people and creating I said it on this morning's call. I was like, man, I wish I had this platform to be able to co-collaborate with other leaders, you know, of some of the struggles I was going through early on in my business. And I would say, hey, I'm having this issue. I'm having this hiring issue. How are you dealing with this underperforming employee? Like all of these different things, and just creating space for that. You know, so it's not necessarily me teaching, but more so facilitating and creating a space for that.
Now, you just touched on developing people, and, you know, in our call this morning, I had a little bit of a cheat sheet. I'm not going to lie. I pulled this off my bookshelf. This is Harvard Business Review's 10 must reads on leadership. They have a whole suite of series. Everything is like 10 Harvard cases that you can study. And I brought up, you know, emotional intelligence, right? So self-awareness. And what makes a lot of great leaders is you know, powerful is that they are self-aware, and they understand they're not just developing the people around them, but they're also developing themselves. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think emotional intelligence is one of those things that it's, you know, you can teach it, but at the same time, if you don't have self-awareness and you're not doing the work yourself, you're never going to develop it. And I think it really starts with, you know, no matter where you're at, it's starting to seek other perspectives. And what I see from people that lack emotional intelligence is simply a closed mind. From people who either have great emotional intelligence and or have developed in the time that I've seen them or been with them, it's just they have an open mind. And so, you know, we have, you know, it's funny because I ask you all the time about your religion. Like, we're, you know, a Christian value-based organization, and our director of franchise development is Jewish.
You got the Jewish guy from the Northeast representing development.
Yeah, but I'm so open-minded. Like, to each its own, right? I mean, I believe what I believe, and I am going to live my life like that. But every person has their entitled opinion, and we all come from different traits. And, you know, I think though there's different beliefs there's a common core shared value system.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I always ask you about, and you think I'm being smart, but I'm genuinely curious about your religion and your life from a perspective of like how you were brought up. You know, I asked you while we were at dinner, I was like, hey, why do all, like when I was in Florida in this neighborhood, why do all these Jewish people like walk the neighborhood together and live together? Like, genuinely just freaking curious. You know, it's not right, not wrong. It's the way they do it. But
you can see that at the Jersey Shore too.
Do what?
You can see that at the Jersey Shore too.
Yep.
Yeah, I have never been, but.
Well, without completely going into my entire religion and explaining that situation, I love it when you ask me questions about it. It shows that you're curious, and you know, I think we've developed a good relationship one-on-one. Religion has nothing to do with that, right? As you mentioned, it's complete value alignment. We understand what the common goals of the organization and our friendship is, and that's bigger than what it is. And you know, if maybe next time we can do this in a professional forum, not like 2 cocktails in at the dinner table asking me about the Jewish context. I have to dig deep into my Hebrew school roots.
I didn't have any cocktails.
You had a mock. Yeah, no, that's right.
I had a mocktail.
I was trying to keep the pace for everybody. Storm, what do you do for self-improvement, development, leadership development? What is a core focus for you, my man?
I think, working on yourself is something that has to be a constant battle. I read as much as I can, and I read all different types of things. And I think what helps keep me, and this isn't really to shift the focus back to ISI and what we offer, but it's one of the things that I've found true. I find that I'm a crankier person and probably less of a leader when I'm not working out like five days a week, 5+ days a week. It's one of those things that helps me keep mentally clear. And the thing that I like about working out is it's a constant battle against yourself, right? As you get older, you tend to get worse with age, right? Things start to break down. You don't feel like you're in anywhere near the shape that you used to be when you had youth. And for me, it's the old injuries that added up over time. And I'm only in my young 30s. But I enjoy that battle with myself every single day. I like being able to walk away after an hour to an hour and a half and say, hey, I did something to make myself a little bit better today. So, I mean, it's those things. It's the small things. It's creating the right habits that I think make it easier to be a leader.
Right. And we talked about that a little bit on the call this morning, Adam, which is, getting into a routine, right? So I know, because I've heard you talk about it, you have a morning routine. It's pretty disciplined, I think, from what I've heard. I have a morning routine. It's less disciplined, but that's okay. As long as you have a routine that works for you. We talked about it this morning. We talked a lot about points of stress, right? And one of the things that I do as a strategy to alleviate that is to make sure that my schedule is locked tight and everything has an appointment on the books, right? And so whatever your morning routine is, whether it's waking up, working out, sweating, or reading, sitting down, meditating, watching a video, listening to music, doing some Gregorian chants, some breathing exercises. You want me to keep going? Making French press coffee, drinking water with lemon and Himalayan sea salt. Whatever your morning routine is, you gotta have that locked in so that you can get what you need and prep yourself for that day.
Yep. It's interesting. I think more and more people are paying attention to, I guess what you would call mindfulness. And even the Fitbit that I wear on my arm every day, there's a new challenge that's been added to the Fitbit, and it's called the Mindfulness Challenge. And it's literally it's a reminder to take 3, 4, 5 minutes every single day and just breathe and/or meditate. And it's amazing what doing something small like that will do for you every single day. But again, I think it comes down to a discipline thing. It's knowing that it's something you should be doing, and human nature, tells us that people don't necessarily do what they have to do. They do what they want to do. So you have to trick your mind into wanting to do it.
Yep. And we're creatures of habit, right? So if we can consistently do something, I always say it's in sets of 3s, right? You do it for 3 days, you do it for 3 weeks, you do it for 30 days, you do it for 3 months. You're going to be able to consistently keep doing that. Not to get completely off topic, but you just brought something up that I think is interesting. And I had a call with a couple last night, and they asked me a question about heart rate technology and technology within ISI. And I'm going to paraphrase, Adam, we've always talked about this. We're never going to use technology to replace the human-to-human relationship. We're always going to use it to support it. And so a common question that comes up is, hey, do you have heart rate monitors like Orange Theory Fitness? And the short answer is no. A big part of that is everybody, as you just pointed out, Storm, Adam, you got your
wearable technology is everywhere.
So I don't have one, but I pre-ordered the Amazon one, which, to your point of being mindful, Storm, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the new Amazon wearable will track the tonalities in your voice and give you feedback on how you're communicating with people in your life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm not here to endorse Amazon, but I got a good feeling they're about to eat Whoop's lunch. We're talking $99 for an Amazon wearable versus $30 a month and a couple dollars in subscription fees. Oh, and by the way, it's the largest retailer in the world.
You're going to have me looking into this as soon as we get off the call.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest gap in leadership is how you deal. I mean, I look at it from being around high level leaders, low level leaders. The biggest gap is how you deal with stress, period, because it's never going to go away. And if you're in a growth mindset, like you're going to be continuing to add stress, right? And so it's one of those things where from even like a financial investment side, sure, like I could have 2 locations and be fine, but I'm continuing to invest everything I have back into what we're doing for a bigger vision, which increases additional stress and leaves me in a season of substantial stress. But it's how you deal with that. And I truly do believe your faith comes in to a lot of that. You know, it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? We go bankrupt. Like if you're talking financial, I go bankrupt. Okay. Like I still got my family. I still got everything around me. I still got blue skies. And it's just perspective on how you handle that stress. But the breathing piece that we talked about and being able to separate and increase your capacity as a leader. Because I remember like 3-4 years ago, stuff I would get so stressed about, like I almost don't even think twice about today. And hopefully that quest continues to grow. Things that I'm stressed about today, hopefully in 3 to 4 years, I can say the same thing. And I think it's just the constant growth and that's increasing capacity as a leader and increasing capacity even as a person, even if you're not leading a group of people.
Yeah, improving your bandwidth.
Yeah.
Every day is an improvement upon the last, right? You have that opportunity.
Makes you more valuable to the marketplace too. You know, so for people that are looking to increase their pay or whatever it is, it's, hey, if you have greater bandwidth and I can get from an owner standpoint, if you can produce 2 times than what one person can, I mean, your value, you're just pure value to the marketplace increases. And so that's why you have executives, because they have a lot of bandwidth.
And leadership isn't unilateral, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be overseeing, 1,200 employees or 10 employees or even 5 employees. There's the big L leader, which is you're leading by title. There's the little L leader, which is you're leading by influence. First time in a long time, I do not have direct reports working with you guys here. Still show up as a leader every single day. That's my goal to you guys. And
Tennille raised her hand. She said you directly report to her.
It would be my pleasure to report directly to you.
She goes, no, I was actually smelling my armpits.
Speaking of moisture and low pressure systems, Storm, do you have some weather for us in Philadelphia before we get out of here? Because I have a call to handle.
I do. This weekend is going to be beautiful. So right now, temperatures are like 10 to 15 degrees higher than average this time of year. Here in November. Right now, it's still pretty cool. It's 52 degrees outside, but the high today is 72 degrees. And guess what? The high tomorrow and the high on Sunday are both 72 degrees.
Ooh, you got to be
so.
kidding.
Wow.
Going to be a glorious weekend here in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the sun sets at 4:50, which is something that we're learning to deal with right now. But it's going to be a nice weekend.
All right.
I'm gonna be following your Instagram because I can guarantee.
You know what?
A lot
yesterday took all my calls from outside, and you better believe that as soon as it hits like 55, 60 degrees, I will be taking my calls the rest of the day from the back deck.
He didn't take any calls all summer from the back deck, and now it's like winter, and he takes calls from the back.
Because it gets hot out there. I don't have quite the cover in the middle of summer.
He was afraid to treat. Well, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. All right. I gotta go. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Later.
Or Monday.
Monday.
Yep.